I'd like to tell you why it is I'm so passionate about helping other people understand autism. I first came across it when I was around 16 and working with children. 3 of them had autism, and I was totally puzzled because all of them were very different one from another. One was a sort of mini Mona Lisa, a beautiful child. She had a faraway look in her eyes, was totally mute, and really didn't seem to recognise that other people were even alive. The second was a boy who would eat anything and everything, regardless of whether it was hot, cold, edible, or inedible. If it would fit in his mouth, he'd eat it. And the third was a girl who was also very pretty, but sort of a wild child, and she would just up and run at the drop of a hat, or so it seemed. And we'd have to send out a search party, and often she would be found a mile or 2 away, just wandering along aimlessly with no real purpose in mind. Each of them intrigued me, and I was even more intrigued by the fact they all had the same diagnosis. Today, people often say that the problems are poor communication and an inability to socialize with other people. But those are just the tip of the iceberg. Once you get to know them, you find that there are 2 specific areas in which they differ from other people. One is that they are all tremendously anxious, far more anxious than most people, even during this time with the coronavirus. And that anxiety is almost palpable, and it affects their lives dramatically. The second thing is that they all, or nearly all, have sensory differences. Now, some of you may have sensory differences too. I certainly do. But if you're anything like me, yours are mild, which mine definitely are. Mine actually cause physical problems, so that bright lights give me migraines. Some sounds annoy me, but not enough to actually make me run away from a situation. But for those who have autism, it's a whole different thing. And their world is very different from yours or mine because those sensory differences are just so severe. For some children, that means all the normal things, the usual hugs and cuddles from a parent, are things that actually are physically painful, really painful. And that can mean that they run away if their parent is trying to hug them. It can also mean that they may find wearing clothes difficult at times. They may not want to put on that change of clothing that you've so carefully put out for them. Or they may even just strip off wherever they happen to be because the clothes feel itchy and scratchy. I'll tell you more another time, but thank you for listening. Goodbye.